Hey everybody, this is Alzorath, and welcome to a Diablo 2 bonus episode where we find out what happens when you gamble 50 million gold on rings. This may turn into a mini-series because I've got a lot of gold and I needed something to waste it on, so I decided to gamble it away. You may notice that a lot of these are red. That's because I've used Go Mule to transfer these to a literal mule. I'm going to have him available for download on the Discord if you guys want to try out any of the rings you see here. Now, 50 million gold gets a lot of rings. If you actually want to see me gambling for those rings, go ahead and click the link down in the description to take you to that about an hour-long video, and that's trimmed down to just show the gambling with Gheed's Charm and Edge on a level 87 Necro in Hell. If you want the very specifics of it, we gambled from Gheed as well because, well, I like gambling at Gheed. I can get a good angle on him to just click away mindlessly. But most of these, as you can see, are just mediocre to garbage, and this is the best of the ones that we had. So yeah, this is 88 of easily hundreds if not thousands of rings. So yeah, it's trimmed down quite a bit to this kind of crap, but we did get some gems in this, oddly enough, which kind of surprised me. I was expecting this to be a complete wash and not be able to even make a video out of it, but we got one unique and we got one set ring out of this. And yes, I did leave the game to transfer gold. That's just kind of what is necessary. Because, yeah, I have to use Go Mule to transfer the gold in single player. But, yeah, you can see what we have here, just kind of floating around, just kind of some junk going on. Corruption Spiral, yeah, absolute worthless. But I will make this character available on the Discord, just to download for single player use only. You can use Go Mule to transfer these over to your characters. It's a pretty simple process, and you can actually try out some of these rings for like some odd builds, because some of these I kept because I could see that they had some uses for possibly niche builds or possibly some theory-crafted builds that could actually be kind of fun. And there's also stat rings in here and stuff like that. Most of these I'm not going to get any use out of because they don't appeal to what I need, but they can fill some gaps in the equipment slots for new players. Speaking of which, I should do a Go Mule video as well. It's a simple program, though. So, yippee-ki-yay. And there are a few videos on YouTube already about it, and my unique spin may or may not be better or worse than that because I am a rambly bastard. But yeah, we've got faster cast rate rings in here, which can be actually halfway decent. We've got Life Leech with a little bit of Magic Find. You can add up Magic Find. If you get around 200% Magic Find, you actually have pretty decent chance of finding stuff. You don't need exceptionally high Magic Find even whenever you're doing proper magic finding. Yeah, it helps, but if you're slowing down your kill speed or your survivability, yeah, you kind of start getting hurt by that. I actually kind of like this one. It's just a faster cast rate with 11 resist. Yeah, you can get decent similar things in magic as well, but I just don't know why. It doesn't really have any other good stats. If it had more resists, I'd be happier. But yeah, these are just okay rings. You notice that as we're moving through, we start getting into slightly better rings. That one has faster cast rate and Life Leech. I might actually even use Beast Loop here. This one might end up going on a character that needs it for Enigma. Faster cast rate to hit breakpoints, and Life Leech for whenever they get there. So it doesn't really have much else. The energy is semi-useful. When we get into these, this is just a generally good resist ring. I actually do like that. It only has 3. It's the minimum you can get on a rare ring, which is 3 stats. It's got cold res, light res, and all res. You've also got a bit of Life Leech with some decent resist here. I kind of like that one. I mean, it's Mana Leech with dexterity. This would actually be decent on a multi-shot Amazon for me, just because it's got that Mana Leech and those resists, and a little bit of dexterity just to kind of top it off. You've got faster cast rate, Life Leech here. This one kind of competes with this one, and it kind of competes with that one. So you can kind of see that it's like, oh, this one has better resist, a little bit lower Life Leech. It depends on which kind of mood I'm in. There's a little bit of better attack rating on this one. This one might be the one that wins out over the two, but it's the kind of the same principle between the two. This one also has a much lower level requirement for some reason. I really don't know why. I think it might be the Life Leech roll, because 8% is a different affix than the 5% roll. I think that might be the deciding factor between the two. But we have faster cast rate with 17 strength. This can actually get you kind of geared up towards your Monarch. You'll have to invest a lot less in strength with this, and faster cast rate is good for a sorceress or druid or pretty much any caster class necromancer, and it gives you the strength you need to get that 4-socket monarch, which is kind of where you want to go if you're going for spirit on your offhand. So I like that one quite a bit. Here's the one unique we got. We got Dwarf Star. I wager the chances for each of the rings is probably fairly equal. I'm not certain on that, though, so someone might need to test it. And I know that it is affected by your level. This was a level 87 character gambling these, so Dwarf Star, yay. You have Raven Circle, which is 4 mana, 5 life. This is our first dual leech ring. Not really impressive beyond that. It does have some magic find on it, so if you're doing magic find with a melee character for some reason, you can use that. It's not bad, but we have a slightly better one coming up. We also have a 7% life leech with good resist. This actually wins out over the dual leech for me because, generally speaking, I don't have mana problems on my characters, so yeah, this is just more fun for me. And it has 40% lightning resist as opposed to no resists on that. And then last but not least, pretty much the only really good thing we got out of this, a dual leech. It's not my best dual leech ring, oddly enough. I've already shown that off in the Synergies video last week. But this one is still a pretty decent dual leech. It's got dual leech, it's got dexterity, so it's got stats on it. It's got cold and fire resist, which are generally resists that I don't know about you, but I generally am lacking in those resists for some reason, even though I like Raven Frost rings a lot. I generally still have cold resist issues, so getting a little bit extra on it is absolutely amazing. And then it also has attack rating on top of that, so it's just generally a really, really good ring. Level 74 requirement is a bit steep. That's probably from the mana leech, because I think the cap is 5 and then it goes into 6 to 8 for the next tier. So, and just overall, the amount of stats on this is pretty nice. This is probably the one that I wager people who are downloading the character are going to nab off of him. But yeah, this is probably my favorite of the bunch. For obvious reasons. There's some good faster cast rings in here. There's some good stat rings. There's some good resist rings if you need to cover some resist gaps. And overall, hopefully you guys enjoy the character. And I think that 50 million gold, if you are like strapped for gold, this is a bit of a waste. But I literally have like, I think over almost 1 billion gold, if not more, if I actually count the stuff on the characters. So yeah, I got a lot to waste. So if you guys actually want to see me gamble 50 million on something else, I will be doing amulets and circlets just because I actually need some more stuff in that regard, especially amulets. I'm hurting on amulets for some reason. But I'm going to gamble 50 million on amulets, maybe even 50 million more. If you'd like to see it on something weird like boots or belts, don't tell me armor, though. I really don't want to gamble armor. That takes up a lot of room. Although now that's going to trigger about 20 million comments. Gamble armor! If you want me to gamble armor, make sure it's a specific type, like studded leather or ancient plates or whatever you want to call them. And I'll see what I can do in that regard. We might have to up the limit of gold used for that, but we shall see. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed this, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And hopefully this was a fun little side video to show you how gambling is mostly worthless, but can still net some interesting results. So keep gaming, have fun, peace out. This has been Alzorath. Bye.